Very good afternoon to you. So, our talk for today is on this concept called process innovation. Really quickly, you see this gentleman in front of you, Mr. Henry Ford. He is one such revolutionary who completely changed and innovated the process of automobile engineering and automobile manufacturing. He's the man that developed this process-based innovation called the assembly line concept. And through this, on October 1, 1908, he introduced the Model T, which was the first mass-produced automobile in the world. In 1913, he developed the assembly belt-based process innovation. Half of all the cars in the United States were the Ford Model T, and you can see there is a photograph here which displays the assembly line concept at Ford. Similarly, a photo below it explains the assembly line concept which is used by Volkswagen in Germany. Let's just keep this under consideration because we're going to take Henry Ford, Model T, and the assembly line concept as a case study and discuss it. What is a process? So basically, it's a combination of certain facilities, certain skills, certain technologies, with the ultimate goal of producing products or providing certain services. Process is naturally occurring, or it could be a designed sequence of steps or events which produces the exact same outcome. You see, inputs, property, machinery, labor, raw materials, consumables are put into something called the production process, where you're converting inputs to outputs, knowledge is being shared, inputs are being presented, and the outputs are ultimately saleable goods and services and valuable information. So what is process innovation? It looks at adopting a process-based view of business functions in order to apply new ideas and technology. So you take a process, transfer knowledge and information, improve and enhance the applicability of that process, and voila, you have process innovation in front of you. Why is process innovation necessary? Because you've got to understand innovation is all about commercial success. Thereby, a process innovation is going to greatly increase your bottom line profitability, improves efficiency, enhances productivity, increases the job satisfaction of employees. You are able to deliver enhanced products or services and thereby give more value to the customer. You control and reduce process wastage. Stick a pin in that because I'll explain it in more detail as we move ahead. To control and reduce work in process-based industries, to reduce the time taken to complete that process, and most importantly, the cost. Thereby, when you look at process innovations, you're looking at something called BPMS, Business Process Management Systems. This means for a manufacturing company, integrating new methods of production, integrating new technology, which leads to greater efficiencies, more quality, reduces your time to market. For service companies, you look at new customer service improvements, look at adding new services. So this is what a process innovation is at the grassroots level. Why is process innovation important and what are some of the indicators? First, you've got to ask yourself this question, why do we do this process in a particular manner? Is it because you've always done it like that? If that's the answer, there is a clear and ever-present need for innovation. You've got to think from the customer's perspective. You need to observe innovative ideas across the industry and explore possibilities. Look at some pain points and frustration areas in a business process. This clearly is a major shout out for innovation. What could block process innovation is if people are rarely asked to do it, if it occurs at either a middle level or a very high management level, people are not able to actually apply that. Then there is something called around the edges syndrome, where executives keep looking at the edge of the problem, not at the heart of the problem. Then there's something called black box syndrome. They look at their process as a black box. They don't know what the details are. They don't know what is there inside this box, but somehow they understand that a certain process produces a certain result and they are happy with it. What are the keys to process innovation? You've got to understand the current process and then look at migrating to a new one. You need to recognize pain points and problems in an existing process and ensure that they're not repeated in a new process. You need to critically analyze the current process, which gives you strategies for new process, and look at individual and organizational learning, which is so crucial because this sustains process innovation and gives you remarkable opportunities to incorporate unique and one-of-a-kind processes. So what are the steps in process innovation? You've got to plan. I've always told you, you need to create a multi-functional or a cross-functional team which comprises of technical people, production people, sales and marketing or finance people, HR people, maintenance people. Out of that, you select a small group of operators, workers who are going to participate in this process innovation and motivate them by communicating with them, counseling them, training them, maybe even rewarding them. Then it's always important to do a pilot run of the process, observe and document how the new process is working. If it's all thumbs up, then a large scale training is crucial for the entire workforce. And here, post all these steps, you can commercially apply your new process. What are the attributes of an innovative process? It means you are able to eliminate or decrease manual processes. Excellent coordination occurs. Parallelly, multiple processes can work. You're capturing process information and insights. These information and insights should help you analyze the process efficiency and decision making. You can capture and distribute this information. You can monitor the status of the process, and cross-functional coordination becomes absolutely butter smooth. What are some of the tools for process innovation? See, you can develop something which is called an assembly chart, where you have individual steps which all come together and it leads to the development of something new. Then you can develop something called a process chart also. In today's arena of technology, we have something called CAD and CAM, computer aided designing and computer aided manufacturing, where using the computer, you're able to design a process for manufacturing a car or a motorcycle or a computer. Then we do something called time study, looking at individual parts of the process and measuring the time here. Something called value engineering and analysis, measuring the value of the process, looking at ways of improvement. Business process re-engineering, taking an existing process in the business and changing it entirely. Developing benchmarks for processes, using something called change management, and last but never the least, having a financial appraisal of the entire process to look at excess costs, cost reductions, and cost efficiencies. So just to give you an idea, these are some innovation strategies. You can have more information. You can reduce access to files. You can have multiple sites on one campus itself, coordination with other departments. To track processes, you can look at the volume of transactions, the type of transactions. So just an example for you, I'm giving this in perspective of maybe say a large MNC bank. So in that same bank, what happens is your customer profiles are done. You can process loans or you can process financial information that much quicker. You can have standard operating procedures. You can coordinate activities that much simpler. So this is an example for innovation, maybe say from the perspective of a large MNC bank. So when you're looking at process innovation, you've got to look at cost, capabilities, priorities, technology, and the timeline. So process innovation looks at moving from an old process which is saturated to a new process which is dynamic and ever growing. So here are some techniques of process innovation. We have something called BPRE, TQM, Total Quality Management, Lean Production System, Kaizen, the 5S concept, and Six Sigma, which I shall explain to you over the course of the next few minutes. So in business process reengineering, organizations fundamentally rethink and change their processes in order to improve customer service, cut operational costs, and become world-class competitors. So this BPRE is done in order to increase the deployment of efficient and effective processes, not just improvise the business, but change the business entirely. So what happens is BPR looks at starting completely from the clean slate perspective, meaning completely from scratch. Disassociate yourself from an existing process, focus on a new process. So if this is done, what happens is you're able to assess the organization's mission, you're able to look at goals, customer needs. So here you are identifying, analyzing, and redesigning the core processes of a business. This leads to improvement in cost, improvement in quality, better service, and enhanced speed. So BPRE can also look like this. Identify processes, update, analyze these processes, design them, test and implement them. TQM looks at total quality management. So here you look at customer focus, look at participation, process of planning, improvement of the process, and management of the process. So at each and every level of the organization, when you're focusing on total and continuous improvement, you look at the TQM model. So what does TQM do? It takes a very strategic approach, looks at the entire process, looks at providing high ROI, works for service as well as manufacturing sectors. It allows companies to take an advantage of developments where operations are across different functions. It develops a culture of collaboration among different departments of the organization. So the process innovation becomes very strategic in nature. Look at the lean production system. This was actually designed by Toyota. It's also called the TPS, or the Toyota Production System, where there are certain core principles which are utilized in order to innovate and make the manufacturing process dynamic. So because of lean production, you can see production capacities increase. We're able to reduce unnecessary use of inventories. Labor reduces. Manufacturing takes lesser time. Production cost reduces. Waste reduces. So from an economic and an ROI perspective, extremely beneficial. Here is a Japanese concept which is called Kaizen, where there is continuous improvement. The entire process, starting from workers till the top management, would need to focus on two major components, either maintenance or improvement. Quality first, not profit first. It's a customer-driven strategy which gives a lot of room for innovation. So Kaizen talks about PDCA, plan, do, act, and check. What are the benefits of Kaizen? It helps you reduce waste, improves utilization of space, gives you immediate short-term and long-term results. Then you have this concept called the 5S. This is also a Japanese concept. Seiri, Seiton, Sieso, Shiketsu, and Shitsuke. So I would want to discuss this concept in explicit detail, so I put it on hold for now. Then we look at another concept called Six Sigma, where All operations in the process needs to work on the DMAIC model: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. If you're doing DMAIC, it means at every stage you're making improvements in the process, producing better results, rapid results, and more effective results. So what are the benefits of Six Sigma, you could ask? It leads to huge improvements in process, higher quality of products and services, better relations with your investors, creates a whole new design methodology, develops better supplier relationships, and aids in proper training and